My name is Anong. I'm 76 years old, and there is something I need to tell you about mornings that took me most of my life to understand. Something so quiet and so close that I walked past it every single day for decades without ever seeing it. The way you begin your morning is not just a habit. It is not just a routine. It is a declaration, a silent, powerful, irreversible declaration about who you are and what you believe your life is worth. And for more than 50 years, I made that declaration without knowing I was making it. I woke up and immediately surrendered the most sacred part of my day. Before I had taken a conscious breath, before I had felt my own body, before I had heard a single thought of my own, I gave it all away, to noise, to screens, to other people's urgencies that felt like my own because they arrived before I had a chance to remember what was actually mine. And then I spent years wondering why I felt so far from myself. Why peace felt like something I was always approaching but never quite reaching. Why I could go through an entire day being productive and connected and useful, and arrive at the end of it feeling as though I had missed something essential, something I could not name. Something that felt like it was always just behind the next task, the next conversation, the next thing I needed to do. If you know that feeling, if you have ever arrived at the end of a full day feeling somehow empty, then stay with me, because what I found changed everything, and I want to give it to you tonight. The Tao found me when I was not looking for it. That is often how the deepest things arrive, not when you are searching with effort and intention, but when you finally become still enough to notice what has been there all along. The Tao is not a philosophy you study from the outside. It is a way of moving through life from the inside. It teaches something that everything in modern life is designed to make you forget. That you are not separate from nature. That you are not a machine to be optimized, or a problem to be solved, or a project to be improved. You are a living expression of the same intelligence that moves through rivers and trees and the turning of seasons. And when you align your life with that intelligence, when you stop forcing and start flowing, everything changes. Not dramatically, not overnight, but deeply. The way roots change the ground they grow through, slowly, permanently, below the surface where no one can see it happening. I want to share with you 7 habits that transformed my mornings, and through my mornings transformed my life. I do not call them practices or techniques. I call them habits because that is what they become. Something you do not because you remember to, but because you have done them enough times that your body knows the way, that your morning knows its own shape. These 7 habits take between 20 and 30 minutes. They require nothing you don't already have. They ask only that you take your morning seriously enough to protect them. And that is where everything begins. The first habit is the one that makes all the others possible. And it is the one that almost no one will do because almost everyone around you is doing the exact opposite. Wake without reaching for your phone. Not just for a few minutes, for long enough that your morning belongs to you before it belongs to the world. The Tao teaches that there is a quality of consciousness in the first moments of waking that exists nowhere else in the day. A state of openness, of receptivity, of genuine quiet. Your mind in those first moments has not yet been claimed by anyone or anything. It is yours, fully and completely yours. And what you do with it determines the quality of everything that follows. When you reach for your phone before you have taken a conscious breath, you are handing that state away. You are giving the most open and receptive version of yourself to notifications and news and other people's realities before you have had a single moment to inhabit your own. I stopped reaching for my phone in the morning years ago, and what happened surprised me. Not immediately, but within days, within weeks, I began to notice that something was different about the quality of my thoughts. They were quieter, more mine, less reactive, less shaped by what other people needed or thought or felt. I began to remember things in the morning that I had been forgetting for years. What I actually wanted, what I actually felt, who I actually was beneath the layers of response and reaction that accumulated through the day. The morning gave me back to myself, and everything I did from that recovered self was different, more grounded, more real, more aligned with something true. The second habit is one that the Tao teaches through every living thing. Move slowly before you move fast. The river does not rush toward the sea. The flower does not force itself open. The tree does not decide in the morning how much it will grow. And you, waking from sleep, are in a state of transition that deserves the same respect you would give any sacred threshold. Before you begin the speed of your day, move your body slowly. 5 minutes, 10 at most. Not exercise, not performance, something gentler. Something that says to your body, I know you were somewhere else just now. I am not going to demand speed from you before you have found your ground. Stretch. Breathe into places that held tension through the night. Feel the length of your spine, the weight of your feet, the capacity of your lungs. This slow, deliberate movement is not preparation for your day. It is the beginning of it. And the quality of that beginning echoes through every hour that follows. The third habit is the one that changed my relationship with my own mind more profoundly than anything else I have ever done. Sit in silence, real silence, not the silence of waiting for something, not the silence of scrolling without sound. Silence as a destination, silence as a practice, silence as the place you go specifically to hear what cannot be heard when the world is loud. 5 minutes every morning, without agenda, without trying to achieve any particular state, without judging what arises or trying to push it away. Just sitting, just being. The Tao calls this returning to the source, the place beneath thought, the ground of being that is always present but always covered by the noise we allow and the noise we create. When you sit in silence, you are not doing nothing. You are doing the most important thing. You are remembering who you are before the day tells you who to be. I resisted this for years. I thought silence was empty. I thought productive people filled every moment. I was wrong. The silence is not empty. The silence is where everything actually lives. The clarity you cannot find in noise. The answers you cannot hear when you are always talking or consuming or moving. The sense of yourself that gets buried under the accumulation of a day. All of it lives in the silence. And 5 minutes each morning is enough to touch it. To remind yourself it is there. To carry a thread of it into everything that follows. If these words are finding something in you that recognizes them, if there is a part of you that has been looking for exactly this kind of beginning, then I want you to stay here. Not just tonight. Come back. Because what I am sharing with you is not information. It is a way of living. And ways of living take time to become real. They need reminders. They need a place to return to. Let this be one of those places. The fourth habit is ancient and almost completely abandoned in the world we live in now. Before anything else, drink warm water. Not coffee, not a supplement, not anything that demands something from your body before it has had a chance to wake. Just warm water, slowly, the way you would offer water to something that has been waiting. Your body has been working through the night, processing, repairing, moving things through systems you are not aware of and could not control. It arrives at morning having done all of this without asking you for anything. The least you can offer it is water. Warm water that moves gently through the channels that have been still for hours. That begins the day not with demand, but with nourishment. This is a Taoist principle that goes beyond digestion or hydration. It is about orientation, about beginning the day in a posture of giving to yourself before giving to anyone else. And that posture, maintained and repeated over months and years, changes how you inhabit your own life. The fifth habit is about the relationship between what you intend and what actually happens. And it is one of the places where most people are getting something fundamentally backwards. Before your day begins, set one intention. Not a list, not goals, not affirmations. One intention. One quality you want to embody today. One way of being you want to bring to whatever the day contains. Patience, presence, openness, courage, gentleness. Choose one and hold it the way you hold a stone in your hand. Something real, something you can return to when the day becomes complicated. The Tao teaches that the person who chases two paths finds neither. The mind scattered across many intentions finds none of them. But one intention, held with sincerity through a single day, changes that day from the inside. And a life changed one day at a time from the inside is the only kind of change that lasts. The sixth habit is one that every part of modern life is trying to make unnecessary. Go outside before you go online. Before you enter the digital world, enter the physical one. Step into air, into light, into whatever version of nature exists wherever you are. Even a small courtyard, even a balcony, even a sidewalk with a strip of sky above it. 5 minutes, just 5. The Tao is not a concept. The Tao is the living intelligence of the natural world. And when you step into that world in the morning, when you feel air on your skin and see light as it actually is, rather than as it appears on a screen, something in you calibrates. Something that has been set to artificial frequencies returns to natural ones. And from those natural frequencies, everything you do during the day is slightly different, slightly more grounded, slightly more real, slightly more connected to something that does not change when your notifications do. The seventh habit is the simplest, and it is the foundation beneath every other foundation. Before you do anything else, before the first habit or the last, before you even fully open your eyes, feel gratitude for the fact that you are here. Not performed gratitude, not a list, just a moment. A genuine, quiet, unhurried moment of recognizing that you woke up, that your heart is still keeping its rhythm, that you have been given another morning in a life that is finite and uncertain and unrepeatable. The Tao teaches that life flows through us rather than belonging to us, and the morning is the moment when that flow begins again. When you feel genuine gratitude for that beginning, however briefly, however simply, you start the day from a different place. Not from urgency or anxiety or the sense of already being behind. From recognition, from the simple and profound acknowledgement that this day is a gift, and that how you use it matters. These 7 habits together take less than 30 minutes. They require no money, no equipment, no expertise. They require only the decision that your morning belongs to you before it belongs to anyone else. That the first 30 minutes of your day are an investment in the quality of everything that follows. That you are worth that investment. That your peace is worth protecting. That beginning with intention rather than reaction is not a luxury for people with perfect lives. It is the practice that makes any life more livable, more present, more genuinely yours. My name is Anong. I am 76 years old. I have been doing these 7 things every morning for more than 2 decades in a small temple where the trees begin each morning the same way they have always begun, by turning toward the light, without effort, without strategy, without knowing anything about optimization or productivity or morning routines. Just turning, just opening, just doing what living things do when the morning comes. And those trees have taught me everything I needed to know about how to begin a day, not by explaining it, by demonstrating it every single morning for years, until I finally understood that the way to begin is simply to be present for the beginning, to not miss it, to not hand it away before you have had a chance to inhabit it, to open toward whatever light is available and let it do what light does when you stop blocking it. I want to know something before we part tonight. Which of these 7 habits is most missing from your mornings right now? Not which is hardest, not which seems most useful. Which is most missing? The one whose absence you feel, even if you didn't know that was what you were feeling. Tell me in the comments, because naming what is missing is often the first step toward finding it. And if these words found you at a moment when you needed them, if something in them recognized something in you, then this space is meant to be part of your journey. Stay close. Come back when the mornings get hard again, because they will. And when they do, this will be here, waiting, the way mornings always wait, patient and full of possibility, ready to begin again whenever you are.